Great news, nostalgia fans. Nintendo has announced that the coveted NES Classic Edition is coming back to store shelves, and it is a very surprising announcement and also conveniently timed. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and on June 29th, this bad boy will be back in stores for you to purchase. I know there are a number of people who weren't able to get one or were repulsed by the high prices on eBay, and now for those of you that want to play some good old-fashioned Nintendo games, it's coming back. They also say that the SNES Classic, as well as the return of the NES, will stay on store shelves through the end of 2018. Now, this is a bit odd, Gabe, because there's a couple things at play here. One, the timing, and two, patience may be a virtue, because these games, at least some of them, are coming to the online service just a few months later.
Yeah, with, added features such as online play and things of that nature. So I know what I'm going to be doing. I know how I feel about the NES and the SNES Classic, but, a lot of people still really want this. It's been a collector's item. You mentioned the eBay prices earlier. For a while, they were pretty insane. I don't know how they're doing now. But, I'm wondering, does this do anything for you? You already own one or two of these things. Like, do you think that this is, cool? Like, how do you feel about it?
Well, to me, the thing that sticks out is the timing, right? And we could say, hey, maybe it's just happenstance, but I don't think there's any way that you can write off the fact that the Virtual Console sort of goodbye announcement happens last week, and then they announce that this is returning, less than a full week later. I mean, very convenient. And I'm not saying that the entire reason for VC being sort of slid over the corner is because of these mini systems, these classic editions, but it has to play a role, right? And the fact that they are bringing it back right after saying, bye-bye Virtual Console is, I think it says something. To me, though, it's also an odd move given that they also said that, hey, you're going to get 20 NES games for $20 a year, and they're not charging $20 for this thing. And obviously, it's a totally different package, it's a totally different product. You're getting the cute little console, and I'm sure it targets a different demographic at for some of it, but just the whole thing is intriguing to me.
Yeah, for sure, it's interesting. If they bring this and the SNES, right, let's pretend that they have them in store shelves at all times, then maybe there's not even a need for Virtual Console for people, just because so many of the popular games are already included in this. But you can't take this with you on the go, and that's what people want from the Switch. It's such a perfect console for all of that. So
it's not piecemeal.
Yeah. And we were talking off air a little bit, and I said hey, this thing is $50, $60, whatever it costs, and that's different than having just one of the games you want for $5 and being able to take that with you on the go. So you touched on it serving a completely different audience. So that's how I'm feeling about it. I said this in another video. I had bought 2 SNES Classics, and I ended up, giving them away because I found out that sadly those aren't made for me. So yeah. I feel similar to this, but it's still really good that it's out there for the people that really want to get their hands on it.
Yeah, I think that's the big takeaway here at the end of the day is, hey, if you wanted one and you weren't able to get it at the $59.99 retail price, now you can. Kotaku wrote an article back last year that the average price for the NES Classic around launch was $243. So that's pretty darn expensive. You're getting up towards the Switch range there. So the fact that they plan on stocking this June through December and possibly beyond for $60 is pretty good. I do think it adds some clout to the thought that, hey, part of this classic games conundrum is in fact due to these mini systems, and I wonder what it does for the eventual inclusion or non-inclusion of SNES games and any eventual future mini classic consoles. But hey, for now, if you want the NES Classic or the SNES Classic, they will be available starting June 29th. The SNES is still out there in some capacity, but NES will be back on June 29th. And I would be remiss to point out that if you're debating this and you're looking to save cash and the little box doesn't matter for you, they are bringing 20 games at launch to that online NES catalog, and you can grab that for as low as $20 a year, or if you want to pay monthly, $3 or $4. So that's another option, and they plan to add to that as well. You get the online play, as Gabe mentioned, so some added features. It's on the Switch. I guess it just sort of depends on why and how you want these old games.
Yeah, for sure.
So let us know your take. Are you excited? Are you planning to pick up an NES Classic, or do you already have one and you're through? Are you waiting for the online service, or is this whole virtual console classic games thing just not important and you're waiting for Mario Tennis Aces, Yoshi, Smash, and Fire Emblem? Let us know your take in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and surprises like this one. Follow us on Twitter and Discord, links in the description below. And until next time, everybody, thanks again for watching. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.